So there's a brewing controversy in the higher education sector. The MK party is demanding the immediate removal of the higher education minister, Nobuhle Nkabane. The party alleges that the minister misled Parliament regarding the appointment of the SETA board, citing discrepancies in the process, adding to the confusion. Just yesterday, the Minister Nkabane released a statement indicating that she would be engaging with Advocate Mutau to clarify his involvement in the panel that appointed the board. However, in an off-the-record conversation that we had with Advocate Mutau, he stated that the minister's statement is in fact incorrect. We reached out to the Department of Higher Education for clarification on this conflicting information. Let's now shed more light on these serious allegations members of Parliament are making against the minister. But we're joined by the MK party's Mnqobi Msizane, who's joining us now virtually. Very good morning to you, Mnqobi. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Let's start off there. So yesterday, after the statement came out, we reached out to Advocate Mutau just to hear his take on the apology that has come from the minister. And he was clear that, listen, he has read the statement, but the minister's account of what has taken place, even in the statement, is incorrect. How do you respond to that as a member of Parliament that has been seized with this matter around the appointment of the panel itself and also the nominations?
Angibonge msakazi mhlawumbe ngibingelele kuqala wena ne-team yakho kanye nabalaleli nababukeli emakhaya. Perhaps it's prudent for me to first give a short background on this matter, to also just state on record that in actual fact it was Umkhonto weSizwe Party that was the first organization to register our outrage and our concern, serious concern, over the then leaked list of these ANC-aligned board chairpersons of the SETAs, as it were. And it is also equally important for me to just a bit stress the significant role that the SETAs play in the skills development and the empowerment of young people of this country at large, particularly in a country such as ours that has skyrocketing unemployment rate, inequality and poverty that is confronting young people. Obviously, it's public knowledge that as things stand, we are sitting at least 63% of unemployed youth aged between 18 to 24 years old, and there's just the one cohort of young people that are being counted here. So I thought it was very important for me to first just state that on record before I get to the matter at hand. But as the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, we don't only have no confidence in the minister alone, but we have no confidence in the entire ministry, inclusive of the Deputy Minister, Buti Manamela of the ANC, the Deputy Minister, Dr. Bondo of the DA, and the department at large for its various failures in executing their great responsibility of delivering to the youth of this country, particularly the poor young people of this country. So I just wanted to first just clarify that. But on the subject matter, of course, you know, we fought with the minister in first and foremost disclosing to Parliament this so-called independent panel, as it were, as she had said, that these were the responsible people that would have played this crucial role of actually selecting, scanning, verifying, and ultimately producing these 21 ANC-aligned board chairpersons that she then appointed. So after a long, heated engagement with the minister, where she was outrightly refusing to provide these people to Parliament, when she finally decides to send a list of these individuals, she then sends a list, of just names and surnames of these people, no profiles, no nothing. And she indicates in that list that the advocate that you are referring to, Advocate Mutau, that he was then the chair of the independent panel, but he did not participate in any of these meetings, as it were. So what we've done immediately after seeing that list, we first sent a letter again to the chairperson of the portfolio committee, requesting, amongst other things, that the minister provides Parliament and us as the official opposition in Parliament in the committee the process and the criteria that the minister used in selecting these people that would have been part of this panel. But secondly, for the minister to share confirmation of correspondence and responses thereof of these people that she says were the independent panel. And then thirdly, we requested, obviously, the profiles that we would have requested initially when we were requesting the minister to provide us with the profiles and these people that she calls the independent panel. And fourth, before my last point, we requested that the minister also furnish us as the portfolio committee and as an organization with the minutes, and the register, and also if there was a quorum to these meetings, that the minister was talking about. But finally, we also requested that the minister treats the matter with the agency it deserves, so that we are able to, then bring the matter to rest. But also we had then requested to summon these people to come before the portfolio committee with the minister and her department, so that we are able to scrutinize and all of that, so that we are able to, not just only deal with matters that are on social media and correspondence that have not come before us, but we are actually dealing with matters that are before us, the portfolio committee.
Would this include Advocate Termutau, even though he says that he never attended any of the meetings and he was cited as the chairperson of that panel?
Look, obviously, everyone that is in that list as presented by the minister must appear before the portfolio committee. And Advocate Mota would have to then, before the portfolio committee, distance himself from this process, as we've seen doing the rounds on social media, because we haven't been finished as yet as the portfolio committee with a letter coming from Advocate Motau stating his case, or also distancing himself, but only letters that we've seen on social media. But we'll be summoning all of these said individuals, including the ministry, to come before us to present their case.
Yeah, I just quickly want to bring up the poll that we are running this morning, Ngobi, and one of the options that we have there, for instance, speaks to this issue that we are discussing this morning. And that is right at the bottom. So we're asking our viewers, should Dr. Nobuhle Nkabane be held accountable for the recent education department crisis? Yes, she must resign. No the process must be fair, or fix the system, not just her. And that's the one that I want to zoom in on. 21% of our respondents have now answered, or rather have voted for that option, fix the system, not just her. Because if we look at what has been happening with the portfolio committee meetings that has been taking place, is that it seems that the problem is not only with the minister, but there seems to be a problem with the ministry itself, which is a point that you had raised right at the beginning of our conversation. So how do we fix the system?
Yes, look, you see, my brother, the biggest issue here is that we have an imposed government that are not the people's choice. That's one. But secondly, our role as the official opposition in Parliament is to do exactly that, expose all the shenanigans and the failures of the system, as it were. Part of issues that we've raised, that goes back to the indecisiveness of the minister to deal with the issues and the rot that is within the system or the department, as it were. We've called for, a precautionary suspension of the Director General after there's been serious allegations of gross misconduct, fraud and corruption, amongst others, where amongst two cases, but one that we would have presented in Parliament, where the Director General was involved in an appointment, an illegal appointment there of a friend of his to become a regional manager of KwaZulu-Natal that oversees and manages the department and liaises with, or rather interfaces the department from a regional point of view or regional level to national level. And this would have happened during the administration of the previous minister. In fact, we would have called even to summon the previous minister to come and account for that. There was serious other issues where some officials of the department would have lied before the portfolio committee. At least two of the officials would have lied before the portfolio committee. And I think, would know the consequences that come with lying to Parliament. So there's serious level of indecisiveness, serious level of lack of consequence management being affected by the minister and the ministry, as it were. So there's serious issues that are in the department, and us as the portfolio committee, or rather as the official opposition in the portfolio committee, we want to state on record that we will not allow a situation where the minister or the ministry turns the SETA space into a playground, or even to a circus where cadre deployment would surface and be given the responsibility of overseeing such a very critical role of changing the lives of young people of this country. Okay,
Ngobi, quickly, when do you expect the minister to appear before the committee again, and when do you expect the submissions from the panel?
Well, we're still waiting for a date to be granted by Parliament programming committee, because obviously our program is very tight, especially with the budget and all of that. But today we are having the department coming to present their APP for this financial year, or this fourth quarter.
Okay.
So we're dealing with that. But for this subject matter, the